Hello and welcome to Pristine Figurines. So for today, we're looking at All Might from My Hero Academia. After my last video, Kirishima's put out performance, we have another vision of a man. All Might himself is definitely, like I just said, the image of a man. You know, everybody should aspire to be like him. He saves people, inspires them to do more, and also chooses to be just. Anyways, he comes from the series of Age of Heroes, and I'm pretty excited to see a figure of him finally be released. And I think he might be the first figure for a prize for him anyways. So without further ado, let's get started. So here we have the front or the back. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm gonna assume the image of the figure is what is meant for the front, but I guess it doesn't really matter in this case. You know, prize figures, they're just the cardboard boxes with the printing on it, something special, but you know, it still looks great for what it is. So All Might is the first figure of this particular series. I'm not really the biggest fan of the Age of Heroes lineup, I do admit. I feel like this particular lineup makes the figures, the characters look a little small, and their colors, you know, are a little bit more bold, which is different, so there's a plus side to that, I guess. But the sizes of the figure themselves compared to other prize figures, ones from the Age of Heroes, I feel are a little bit tinier than the other ones that we see. Here's the bottom of the box and full of its texty goodness, and you can always pause it here if you want to check out more of it. And you know, some more logos on the top of the box, as well as the Toho license sticker, which is very important. It helps tell fake figures from real ones, generally. Looks like there's 3 pieces of tape on the box. As I said in a previous video, there's a particular way I like to open them with the knife, so it doesn't damage the little flap on the box. I like to save them in the best condition that I can. Looks like there's little Crane King social media QR codes here, if you want to check that out. I've tried to find out what that number is, the serial number on that flap of the box, but I couldn't really check it out or anything. And there's your Banpresto 2019. Here we have a very basic minimal packaging. The All Might is wrapped up. Actually, I was a little surprised to see the bubble wrap around his body. So generally the pieces that you see here are pretty separated, but All Might has a pretty full piece, I would say, in his body. I guess there's really nothing else in here other than that box support that you see. I'm pretty used to seeing the upper and the lower body into 2 pieces, but I guess for All Might they decided to do just one large piece and have the head connected to him. I'm not sure if it's coincidence, but this is the first piece that I'm actually not the most satisfied with, and I'm not sure if it's because of the one piece or not. I'll show you that in a bit later, but let's start with the base. First off, the base here, you see it's pretty scratched up, it's very beat up, and you kind of see the darker shadings on it. I was pretty surprised when I saw this. Generally, Banpresto's prize figures have been doing a pretty good job, but I feel like this particular base was pretty dirty, and yeah, there's the extra black shading that you see around the little sticks that you put it on. The bubble wrapping around his upper torso is a plus. You know, it's good for packaging. But I do admit, my first impressions of the figure is like, oh wow, you know, it actually looks really cool. But after taking a more thorough inspection of it, there are lots of color overlapping, some spots that you know, like the red is touching the blue and stuff like that. And All Might's boots, the pieces of plastic on it is actually it's not like, you know, in line with, like, from his red outlines to his yellow boots. You can see the red outlines popping over the boots rather than just the color. It's the actual like plastic that's going over it. I'll show more pictures of it, but I was pretty underwhelmed by the quality of this particular figure for Age of Heroes. I mean, I've had a Deku one, but that one's just, yeah, that one's fine. But this one, I was pretty worried. Like you see on the back of here, you see how there's dirty marks on it. I'm not sure if it's just this particular model, or maybe if it's just, you know, the way that All Might's made in huge one piece like this. Well, I can't call it one piece, but you know, this huge one piece body. I'm not sure what's going on here. I was pretty, yeah, just not impressed. You see how dirty it looks right there, and yeah, I'm a little speechless, to be honest. I've always been so impressed by Banpresto's prize figures. You see the great part of that belt. You see on All Might's butt, you see the little spike of plastic, and yeah, you can see how there's like a little gap right there under it. The boots are okay. The quality of his head looks okay. It's kind of dirty in the front. The top of his hair is pretty, you know, just has some dust on it. I tried wiping it down, but I couldn't get it off. And his eyes are just poorly painted. I'm not sure why they actually let this one pass. I gotta admit, his hair is, you know, the sculpt on it's fine, but I think the coloration is just not very good. And also, the color of his skin, the plastic, it just feels cheap for some reason. Alright, so All Might is from the franchise My Hero Academia. The brand is Banpresto. He's made out of PVC and ABS. ABS is going to be his stand. PVC is the main material he's made of. He stands about 7 inches tall, with a weight of about 14 ounces. And he released in March 21st, 2019. And I'd say about the price range currently for him. It's roughly around 18 to 25. Generally I put like 25 to 30, but I do understand the price drop on this one. It's the quality of him is just really not the greatest. I'm really surprised that Banpresto has released a figure like him. Honestly, I'm pretty underwhelmed by this figure. This just doesn't seem like a Banpresto quality figure. It's in a lot of popular stores like Hot Topic and Box Lunch, so this one is distributed even in major retailer stores. If I didn't know, I might have guessed, you know, this one could have been a fake figure in my opinion. If I had to recommend it or not, I'm gonna have to give this one a pass. For an early All Might figure, it's a little sad honestly because of how glorious this character is. There is an Amazing Heroes version of him that I do have unopened, so I'll be checking him out later. That one does seem a little more promising, and hopefully he's a little bit better quality than this one. In the end, I hope this information helps you. Thank you again for watching my review. I'm definitely going to be reviewing a lot more figures ranging from price to scale, and I do have a Garo scale figure that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So that's going to be that. Look forward to that. Here's a little photo shoot of All Might to end the review, and as always, be collecting, and more importantly, be pristine.